And the time is 8 past 10. We welcome you to Home Solutions, Home Repairs and Solutions. And I guess I'll just kind of throw it to Mary and Mark here. You guys just jump right in there.
It is a beautiful spring morning in the Ozarks.
Where?
It is. It is, and you know what? Most people know that Spring Mountain Air, we sponsor the show every Friday, and so our name isn't really appropriate for today, I guess, the spring part of it, but, you know, whatever you got going on, we'll do it. We had a furnace call this morning, and we did air conditioners yesterday, and it's just, you just never know.
That's right. I mean, here in the Ozarks, you don't ever know.
But this is the strange, I don't ever remember having snow this late in the year, ever. And I was born and raised here, and I don't ever remember having snow this late.
I don't either.
And I'm not liking it too well.
No, you know, when I walked out this morning, and well, I looked out first, and all the roofs and the houses behind us were white. I'm like, okay. But
This ain't right.
This ain't right. Because I know they all didn't have white roofs.
That's right.
But the ground was still green. Mm-hmm. Then when I went out to get in my truck, it was just sleeting like crazy.
Yeah.
And so I had to scrape all that off my truck and stuff. So I'm like, boy, this is really interesting. You know, just a few days ago, I had the motorcycle out riding it, you know, and it was 80 degrees. And here we are in the 30s and snowing and raining and sleeting.
Well, you know, my brother lives up by Kansas City, and my dad called me this morning, and he talked to my brother yesterday, and he was saying, yeah, he goes, earlier this week, he said, I got everything mowed, I was mowing, I got everything weed-eated, and got everything cleaned up. He goes, yesterday he had to shovel snow so they could get out of the driveway.
I know, it's
now,
crazy.
That's a mess.
It's crazy, but you know what, Mary? The sun always shines right here at KWTO every Friday morning.
Yes, it
right
does,
here
right,
in this studio.
Right here on Home Repairs and Solutions.
That's right, it does.
And we hope everyone's able to listen in this morning. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure that people still got to work and different things, but,
Yeah.
you know, hope everyone's tuned in and
you
we
know,
got some good information for folks today.
what a better morning to just sit and listen to the radio, get you another cup of coffee, and
That's right.
just relax and
Have a bagel and cream cheese and
There
some
you
coffee,
go.
and life's good.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I had this morning.
I had my Raisin Bran.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
well,
you
we're
know,
all good.
we're good then.
We're
So-
all good.
Oh, that's right. Well, we have a guest here this morning.
We do, and I'm so happy to have him back. He was with us on the show earlier, and can't remember for sure when, but
It
we
was
have
when
Russ-
I wasn't here.
it
I
was
can
when
tell you
Mark
that.
wasn't here, so it had to be sometime last summer,
Mm-hmm.
early in the summer, late in the spring. But it's Russell Gerhke with Real Greenius. That's kind of hard for me to say, but
Real greenius.
Real Greenius. And the last time Russell was on, he was talking about the storm shelters that he had invented using recycled products and stuff. And he has Project Jomo going on, which is he was helping the people in the Joplin area that were devastated by the tornado, that he was putting in storm shelters for them. But he has kind of furthered that process, and so that's why I have him back today. And so thanks for being on the show today. I'm so excited you're here today.
Glad to be here, Mary. Thanks for having me back.
And I don't know if bringing a storm shelter guy on caused this weather or not, but
Yeah. What am I thinking?
I'm thinking, maybe I should have had a swimming pool guy on or something.
There
I
you
don't know.
go. Yeah.
But anyway, welcome back to the show. I'd like
Thanks,
for you
Mary.
to kind of remind folks what you did, maybe kind of how you started this process, and kind of let them know what's available for them today.
Sure. A quick recap. And it's nice meeting you too, Mark.
Nice meeting you.
After the tornado, it became very clear that very few people had storm protection. And, we lost 161 people there. And the children of Joplin really, when it storms now, they think every storm is going to have a tornado.
Sure.
They lack the maturity, basically, to make that judgment call. So there's a degree of tension for them. And we thought, well, gosh, these kids need shelters. And another thing that I quickly noticed while we were down there volunteering the very next day was that the playgrounds were still standing. So we documented that. And to make everything in a nice, neat, short package here, what we did is we took the plastics like were found in playgrounds, and we make these concrete forms out of them. And we patent them. They're patent pending. We call them ballistic concrete forms. We stack them. They hold the rebar, and then we fill them with concrete. So after that, what we did is we went through all these hoops and buttons and everything else we had to push to get them on the ground, and started giving them to people, and kids primarily. And every shelter that we've put in Joplin now has either been donated or been put in with free labor. all volunteers.
Isn't that cool?
That is.
Do you know how many you have on the ground in Joplin?
Well, we've got a large one and then 2 smaller ones, and we started putting them in Kansas right now. So right now we can protect about 200 people. So.
See, that's pretty neat. That came from, and I don't know that I would have. I think that's really cool that in the midst of all that confusion and destruction and everything, when you're out there volunteering, that you noticed that the playgrounds were still there. I don't know that I would have even noticed that. I don't know that I would have been, that observant to what was still standing. But to take an idea like that and then create a product from that idea that will keep people safe and secure, I think is just a really cool thing.
Well, I mean, you're on range line and the Burger King is flattened, but the playground's standing right in the middle of it.
It's amazing.
And I documented all this and put it on YouTube. You can see the videos of the playgrounds and how the idea matured into what it is today. But I immediately called a FEMA engineer and some other people, and is this unusual? Because we were finding all these playgrounds, and we started looking on the internet and found other tornadoes with the same thing happening. So we were like, well, obviously this plastic can take on a lot of energy, and allow us to we can fill it with concrete, so we have the weight and the mass. So the two together really work well together, and we developed this kind of super storm protection unit out of some recycled products and conventional technology that FEMA recognizes, and we're good to go.
Well, what I think is really neat now is you're actually in a position now where you can sell these to the public.
Yeah. After about 2 years into this project, we're just now getting into where we're going to start selling to the public. One of those reasons is that funding, grants, and other things that we were doing to help finance the donations are disappearing.
Sure.
And it's getting more competitive out there. So now to fund the project, we're going to start selling the shelters to the public and divert those profits to helping complete our cause in Joplin, and that is to get shelters to as many children as we can.
See, I think that is a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always amazed at some of the stuff that you come up with, Russell. Those who don't know Russell, this isn't the only thing he's invented. He comes up with some really neat things. But one of the things that he's going to be doing this weekend, and the reason why I wanted him on the show today, is I don't know how many of you have been listening or heard about it, but there's going to be it's called Safe and Sound Saturday.
Right.
It's going to be at the E-Plex tomorrow, and it's free to come out, and it's about Atlas Security and different security places and people that are in business that have anything to do with security around your home are going to be there. And Russell is going to be out there, and he's got. Are you actually constructing a shelter, or what are you taking out there for people to look at?
We'll have a demo of these blocks we use for the ballistic concrete forms put up. Of course, we won't have concrete in it. It'd be kind of hard to,
right.
But they can see what the technology's got. And we'll show them samples of the other shelters we make. We have a metal one that we put poly coating on. The idea is to, shelters now are just stop boards with mass and brute force. I mean, they're taking the energy out of it by just stopping it. What we want to do is not just stop the board, but we want to remove the energy from its impact so the unit underneath isn't damaged. So, this shelter lasts your family, the next family, so 200 years from now, well, that's quite, say 100 years from now, when that house is sold and a tornado happens, that family still has a functioning safe room.
Right.
Even if it's been through a tornado before. So that's kind of the goal there. But, we'll have that at the show. And then we'll also have our machine that we built to effectively test our shelters. And it's called the Shredder.
And it is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is worth going out there just to see this thing and talk to Russell and see how all this works.
The Shredder, it was the idea came when we'd gotten a grant from the state to help us with our testing. And in Joplin, the tornado would last 3 minutes. And most tornadoes travel 70 miles an hour, and their size, they only last 3 seconds. So a lot of the engineering that's been done on storm shelters was on 3-second wind gusts, which are very adequate. And, it's better than being in a hallway, bathtub, or a closet.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But what we wanted to do is absolutely test for what happened in Joplin, and that would be a 3-minute duration. So we developed a machine that's a lot like a baseball pitching machine that can do projectiles every few seconds for up to 3 minutes. That way we can take like an 8-foot by 8-foot section and barrage it with boards every 6 inches in a grid for that 3-minute time period to really get a good representation of what we want to see. And well, the way we power that machine to make that happen, we put a motorcycle on it.
Wow.
So it's really cool. Now, you actually have a demo of this on Facebook.
Yeah. If you go to Facebook to our Project Jomo page, you can get on there, and there's a recent news story from last week, a station out of Wichita did, and we destroyed a cop car for them. And behind that cop car is one of our walls with the composite material on it. If you watch real careful, every time that 2x4 goes through there, it's moving that 3,000-pound wall. It's great force behind it. And that door had plating in it. It's armored. And the first board went right through it, which
Wow.
I really thought it'd take 5 times to make it happen, because I put the machine in one spot and kept shooting, and immediately the first board went through it. So that people are like, "Why'd you shoot in one spot?" I was like, "Well, I didn't think it would go through the first time." But what it did is it allowed us to test that wall, and that's the first time we've tested a wall with what we call green concrete. The concrete in that wall was only 6 days old.
Oh, wow.
And it absolutely held up to it. The composite materials removed the energy from the projectiles and kept the integrity of the concrete there. Well, it was still green, which really was a surprise to me, actually. It was
Yeah.
very green. It was still wet when you touch it. Not wet like cement where you could
Right.
just
Right, but
moisture
there is still a
coming
lot
out
of
it.
moisture in
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
sure, at that point.
Yeah, so that was a pleasant surprise, and it was a good day, and it got a lot of good PR for us. And KY3, our local station here in town, came all the way to Chinook, Kansas, and filmed that event. And then they also filmed some of our shelters. We've got one shelter that doubles as a restroom on a golf course. So we're finding.
Isn't that a cool idea?
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
Well, we got to thinking, if we can price them at about the same square footage as a conventional structure, why don't we start marketing them for other purposes, like a storm shelter is a bathroom, a walk-in cooler is a storm shelter.
Sure.
And that's where we're finding our wind and finding our cause. It's been quite a ride. The cool thing about it, we're able to follow local permits, building codes, ICC 500. Because of the concrete we use, we can use that as a reference, and that's recognized. So we may have a new technology in our composite, but because of the concrete, we're able to fast track its use and recognized for.
Now, because you brought a chunk of this in here for Mark to look at, because I'd seen it before, but Mark hadn't. But this composite that you have that's on the outside of the concrete, does that have any give to it? Because it kind of absorbs the punch.
Yeah, it's a lot like how a bulletproof vest would work on a soldier or a police officer.
Okay.
They don't wear cement when they're fighting battles or chasing criminals, and they don't wear metal armor like they did in the medieval times. What they wear is a material called Kevlar, and it's made from plastic. And what it does is plastics have the ability to take on energy, and the molecules, the parts that make the plastic up, take that energy and strip it away, because as they come under stress, they stretch, they flatten, but that energy is put into that.
Is dispersed from that point.
Right. It takes the energy away. The momentum, that kinetic energy is put into the plastic. We aren't just like a solid piece of metal or cement that's stopping it with brute force. We're actually taking the energy away from it.
Wow. That is so cool.
Isn't that neat?
It is.
Well, I'm just so excited that this is something that is now available to the public too.
Yeah.
I know that after the Joplin tornado, a lot of people put in different storm shelters, and there's all different kinds and what have you, but not everyone did.
Right.
So now you have another option available to you.
Sure.
That can be done with this really cool technology that, like Russell said, absorbs the energy and disperses it instead of just continually pounding it.
Right.
So to me, I just think that is a brilliant idea.
Oh yeah, and me being in the building business, we're having more people that when we build them a new house, that's the first thing they ask for. We want a storm shelter. So people are really a lot more aware, especially since Joplin and stuff in this area, that they want something, and I think it's a great idea.
The time has come. I mean, the people that need the shelter the most are often the ones that can afford it the least.
Sure.
Trailer
Yeah.
parks, older people,
Sure.
homes that are older. So yes, this is a new technology, but with the technology as we develop it and streamline it, like a microwave or a CD player, they're very expensive at first and they've dropped, but we're able to drive that price down, and that's our goal, is to keep these affordable. We really want to, if people can afford a shelter, they're going to have a shelter, and lives will be saved.
Exactly.
And you can build these any size, correct? Is there a size limit?
Yeah,
There's not a size limit, right?
We go up to 200 square feet at our affordable price point, and it's actually, we won't talk price on the radio today, but we are very affordable when you compare us to the other shelters on the market. But when we go larger than that, then we have to involve, once we get over 200 square feet, the game plan kind of changes. But yeah, we can do just about any size.
But for most residences, 200 square feet would be.
That's huge.
Oh, that's huge.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So for a resident, I don't even know if you would need one that big, but I can see, like, if you were doing something, what would be, I think would be cool for this is, like, if they would build community centers and stuff out of this.
Yeah,
That would be a place where I think if someone's going to put in a new community center, something like that, build it out of this type of construction, and then it has a dual purpose. And then, like you said, people in that area, if they have nowhere else to go, they can get there and be in a safe environment.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. And the other thing I like is, we can build the one for your family that'll hold 6 people. That's like 4 foot by 5 foot, and it's under $3,000, completely installed, ready to go. And so that's a big deal for us, and that's a big deal for a lot of families that are trying to save the $5,000 to $6,000 to
Sure.
get a conventional shelter. I wasn't going to talk price, and I just did. Doggone it.
Well, that's okay. It happens, and I'm sure that's one of the questions people would have is,
Yeah.
okay, it's affordable, but what does that mean? Affordable is depends on who you are as to what affordable is. But
Right.
the other thing I had a question about is, can you put these, like a lot of them they put inside their garages, or do you put all these outside, or where is your application for installing these?
Right. We have the 3 types of shelters. If you want one in your garage, I would suggest you go to the metal one with the poly on it, because it's
Okay.
going to take a little less of a footprint.
Okay.
And it works well in that type of environment. And 2, you've got your house basically around it, and we put that poly on it, and that metal box, it's very loud when things hit it.
I'm
So
sure.
that poly helps take away the sound, as well as it also helps take away the energy from the impact. And those shelters, the doors on them themselves are made out of 1/4-inch solid steel, which is very thick.
We got a caller holding on.
Okay, I didn't know our screen's not working today.
Yeah, I'm afraid afraid the storms overnight kind of messed it up.
Okay.
Brandon is on with us. Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. I just wanted to mention that we've got a storm shelter here at our place, and it's made out of concrete. And I was wondering, do you think concrete is a lot safer than the metal is? Well, I don't know what sturdy metal you have on your storm shelters. And then secondly, we have wooden doors instead of metal doors. Should we switch our wooden doors into metal doors so that they don't get torn apart or anything like that? And I'll hang up and listen to your answer.
Okay. Thanks,
Good question, Brandon.
That is a good question.
Yeah, it's a good one, Brandon. Yeah, a lot of people, you might have built your own or had someone build it for you. And online, you can go to the FEMA website, and in the FEMA library, they have a section for it's called FEMA 320, and they'll have guidelines on how to make your own safe room. And those guidelines are developed around the testing like they do at Texas Tech and all that. So if you follow those 320 guidelines, you're going to be able to fix your shelter. Your wooden door might need like some 12-gauge steel put on either side of it, and that could bring it up to spec. The number of deadbolts you have on it, FEMA calls out for 3. If you don't have one of those, you might want to look at that. But regardless, if you got a concrete box with a wooden door on it, you're probably still better than probably 80% of the people in the Ozarks that have nothing. So
Oh, sure.
you got something. So don't be too hard on it. And concrete works very well. I mean, what we do is to an extreme. Our shelters, if it's got a 6-inch wall, we're using concrete with a PSI in excess of 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. So it's an ultra strong mix. But with our polymer, we'll drop that PSI down to 5,000. where with our steel, it's 1/4-inch plate, but it has an 1/8 inch or up to 1/4 inch of the poly on the outside of that. It's the same polyoil material you would see used by the military that they put under the Hummers with another foam product that absorbs the energy from like landmines or improvised explosive devices. So we're real laden heavily with the technology, and we research very thoroughly into what other materials are used in other instances, like at military. Energy absorption is what this is about, and cost. But with what you have, Brandon, I would say it's better than a closet, hallway, or a bathroom. But form FEMA 320 at the FEMA library. If you go online, you can get directions on there how to bring it up to where you have peace of mind for what you have on your property now.
That was a good question.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know they put wooden doors on them, so I was kind of surprised with that. But, like you said, maybe it's someone who just, created one. Maybe someone built it, or
I've seen people bury school buses underground for storm shelters. It's just everybody.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, people do all kinds of things for that peace of mind. It's terrifying. I mean, every year we waste 5 billion man-hours in tornado warnings. It's a huge drain on the economy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people don't realize that. Because it's Mother Nature, we largely ignore it. But if it were terrorists making us cower like that and go into warnings, we would be fighting a war. And this is my personal war. I absolutely hate tornadoes.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we just got a signal. We have to take a quick break here, but please come back with us. We'll have some more great information for you and how you can contact Russell if you're interested in one of his shelters.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A California truck driver will face involuntary manslaughter charges in the death of 2 men in Republic in March. Lee's son was driving a truck that crushed 2 cars in a rear-end crash on Highway 60. Prosecutors say son was speeding, had driven too many hours before the accident, and didn't even apply his brakes. Springfield firefighters put out a blaze in a truck reported stolen just moments before. The burning truck was found in a vacant lot just west of Sunshine and Kansas Expressway. And the Police Museum on McDaniel Street will be open to the public during May's Friday Arts Festivals. The museum is in an old jail called the Calaboose. It's the oldest building owned by the city and is rarely open to the public. The museum contains relics from the earliest days of Springfield police, like weapons, uniforms, and badges. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
And the Cardinals are the Texas League champions here in 2012.
The Springfield Cardinals are back at Hammons Field for their 9th season. Every Sunday is a Highland Dairy Ice Cream Sunday at Hammons Field with free ice cream for kids before the game. Then all kids can run the bases after the game. The future of Cardinals baseball is right here, right now. Visit SpringfieldCardinals.com or call 417-863-2143 and get your tickets today. Escape to Cardinals baseball.
In times of joy, in moments of grief, broadcasters come through, even when all else fails. Today, with more ways than ever to experience the moments that transform our lives, Americans still choose broadcast radio and television more than all other media combined. We are the local broadcasters of radio and television, reaching more people, touching more lives.
Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and locally owned and operated KTXR, KWTO AM and FM, and KBFL AM and FM.
Join us from 7 to 9 p.m. Sunday nights on AM 560 KWTO for Armed American Radio. That's Sunday night from 7 to 9 p.m. on AM 560 KWTO.
Live on Sunday night, it's Bill Cunningham.
Bill Cunningham here, the Great American. Every Sunday night live, a small band of renegades form around radio. From Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida, and all places in between, to talk about the issues of the day. This Sunday night live, we talk about what was and what lies ahead. Bill Cunningham, the Great American. I am a Great American, live with you every Sunday night.
Willie.
The Bill Cunningham Show, Sunday night at 9:05 on KWTO.
A morning rain or snow shower in spots, then we'll see showers in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy, colder throughout the day, high near 40. A shower in the evening, followed by a bit of snow and rain at times late tonight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cold with a low 35. Cloudy and turning warmer tomorrow and Sunday with a shower in places. High tomorrow 48, Sunday's high 61. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Snyder.
And it's 10:33. We welcome you back to the Home Repairs and Solutions Show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air. And your hostess is Mary, your host is Mark, and Mary, take off.
Welcome back, everyone. You know, we haven't given out our numbers yet.
No, we haven't.
We might have some people out there wanting to call and ask Russell some questions, and
That's
they
right.
need to know how to do that.
They do. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. Or, since we are so technological here, however you want to say it.
We're high-tech
We're
here.
high-tech. Well, you can send us a text message at 417-838-3192, and we'll read your message on there. So
Try and answer your questions.
That's right, we will. So
before we get started and take off here and get all involved, why don't you give out information how people can contact you, where they can go to look at videos of some of the stuff that you've done with your shelter, some of the testing you've done. These videos, I'm telling you, are impressive. They are really neat to watch.
That's one of the things we've done is by posting these videos, the public becomes the police for our storm shelters. And we've started a new association called the National Storm Resilience Association, where we can start testing products, and we use YouTube as the police arm. You know, the science is science, data is data. We can share that data, and it's a valuable tool for what we do. But the best place probably to follow us is on Facebook at Project Jomo, and Project with a space and then Jomo, and then on YouTube we got our own channel on YouTube called Real Greenius, RealGreenius. It's one word, and you can see some of the videos we got up there of some of the first shelters we've built and some of the testing we've done and why we do it.
It's worth it to go on there, and so many people are on Facebook now. That's a great place for you to put this information out there, and it's easily accessible to folks. But yeah, look that up. Look up Project Jomo on Facebook, like their page, and then you can keep up with the progression of what's going on and what Russell's been able to do, and how this is all being developed, because it is a really interesting thing to watch and follow. And like I said, he's got a video up there of his shredder actually, projecting things from this machine and into this.
We did a police car.
Yeah, they destroyed a police car, and it is a cool video.
That's on our Project Jomo page. Behind that police car is one of our walls again, and we put it there so the boards wouldn't keep flying through, because behind us was a golf course.
Yeah, so they want to take out the golfers, but
no.
Four. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they couldn't, travel faster.
And there goes
than
a
my
2x4
sound.
by their head. Yeah, that wouldn't be too cool.
Yeah.
But now tomorrow at the Safe and Sound Saturday, you're actually not going to be able to run the shredder because you don't have an environment conducive to do that. But the shredder will be there. You can look at it. You can look at the forms. You can look at how this is put together. Russell's going to be there. What's the times out there, Russell? Do you know?
That starts at 10 in the morning and goes till 5 in the afternoon.
10 till
Saturday.
5.
Yep.
And then also during the day, different times of the day, they have different companies presenting things out there that you can go to and listen to presentations on different safe things you can do around your home.
All kinds of safety events and just tons of things to do. The weather's going to be awful tomorrow, so you might as well come down to the expo
It's
center.
all inside.
It's all inside, and it's free.
And it's free, plenty of parking. And what I think would be kind of neat is to, take your kids with you.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun to take your kids, and so that they understand home safety and that know that, that they're okay. Like you said, the thing that really is that I'm sure it's hard for some of those small kids to get over from the tornado is the fear.
Yeah. As adults, we can rationalize things. Children aren't as good at it. The landscape can be repaired, but that emotional landscape
is another.
It
is.
Yep, that's true. Do we have a call holding on?
We do not have a caller hanging on, but the caller does not have a computer, so he would be interested in some telephone numbers.
Okay. How can he call you, Russell?
Well, he can leave a message. This is my direct. They probably won't get to talk to me easily, but it's 417-425-1095, and they can leave a message, and I'll call back.
Well, if they want to talk to you easily, they need to go to E-Plex tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the best place.
Because that would be the best place you got, because Russell will be there, and he'll be able to visit with you and show you what he's got. And really, until you've seen this, it's really kind of hard to explain. So it's always better to have a visual.
Correct.
So he's going to have that out there tomorrow for everyone who wants to look at it ask them questions, and you can, feel it and touch it and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, come out and kick some blocks.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I hadn't thought about that you mentioned earlier, I thought was really interesting is, personally, I have not had to survive a tornado where it blew my house away, so I'm very grateful for that. But I hadn't thought about the sound. When you if you're in a shelter, and I can't even imagine the sound in just a concrete shelter or something like that. Whereas with this, you said this also kind of helps with the sound.
Right, and that's one of the things during our testing. We evaluate sound also, and a regular tornado only lasts seconds.
But I'm sure it seems like a long time.
Right,
If you're in the middle of
it. In Joplin, it would last 3 minutes, so
which would be forever.
Loud. And the one little girl, Hannah Brazelton, her family, we gave them a shelter, and they wrote it out in a closet. And the 14-year-old actually was having the worst time with storms than the 5-year-old, because the 14-year-old held her sister's ears because it was so deafening loud. But 3 minutes seems like an eternity, especially to a child when
Absolutely.
you're terrified like that. I mean, every time I heat up a cup of coffee or tea, I'll get choked up thinking about it. That 3 minutes, I think about what those people went through, and it really tears at me.
Sure it does. Sure it does.
Yeah.
And that's why you do. That's why you're doing what you're doing, and I think that's very commendable, Russell.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said, they had a lot of volunteers and a lot of people up there, and I, for one, probably wouldn't have thought, "Wow, how come these playgrounds are still here?" and thought of something to do with that to make a safe place for those people.
Yeah,
and for everybody.
And who knows why we noticed it and why it fell on my heart like that, but
It was supposed to. You were supposed to do
it
this.
might be divine.
You were supposed to do this, Russell, and I think it's a neat thing to do. And I'm so glad that they come up with this Safe and Sound Saturday. I think that's a great thing for the public. A lot of people have questions about safety. We want to feel safe in our homes. There's lots of things you can do. We've had people with alarms on the show before, and there's some great technology with alarm systems now. Yep. Alarm system, though, isn't going to save your life in a tornado.
No.
So
it's about peace of mind. Your chance of being hit by a tornado or killed by one's like 1 in 4 million. So the odds.
Sure.
But it's the idea that it could happen.
It could happen.
And for children, having that peace of mind and that anchor at home is so important. And I mean, we can have these community shelters, but people still have to leave their house to get to them. By the time they get their phone, get in the car, and all that, the tornado can already be on them. So we really feel that personal shelters at homes are a better tool.
Oh, absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
Many.
Yeah.
And I think we have a caller. Do we have a caller?
We do indeed. We have Gloria from Springfield. Gloria, go right ahead.
Good morning, Gloria.
Hi, Mary. Hey, listen, where do you put the storm shelters?
Well,
Is it out in the garage or where?
What we can do it outside in the garage. We even have our metal one can be made to where it goes down to your basement. If you
I
know.
don't have a basement. I have a crawl space.
Yeah. So probably one of the most popular places is in a garage, because if it's hailing, you don't want to go outside when there's grapefruit-sized hail.
Okay. My next question is this. Now, and I looked into it once before, and I just have some questions. I don't know, the home show or something. You might have been there. But anyway, I said, if you got in the garage and the whole house falls down on top of the storm shelter, how would anybody find you?
Right.
And I was told you got to make sure the police know that you have one in your garage.
Right. A lot of cities, like Joplin, for instance, you can register your storm shelter in there and let your family know, let your neighbors know. The nice thing about our shelter, we have it to where the door opens out normally, because if you have someone in a wheelchair, if it opens in, it's very difficult to deal with that. Right. So we have it open out. But if some kind of debris falls in front of the door and you can't open it, there's 2 bolts or 3 bolts with wing nuts you can remove, and the door will swing in. The mechanism all stays in place. We just have one stop that keeps it.
So do you have to have that tool inside the
No. It's all done by hand.
Oh, okay.
So you could still get out. But when we put a shelter in, we also geo-mark it through GPS. So if there's an event, trust me, I will get a team there, and we'll pull you out if we have to.
And how high is this rated? I mean, F2, F3, F4, F5?
F5. We rate everything for what happened in Joplin. We rate everything for a 3-minute tornado.
Okay, and what's your phone number and the name of your company?
The best place to reach me is via email, And you got a pen handy?
Yeah, but I don't have email. My daughter does.
Well, that's the best place. I can give out my phone number, but again, I get so many calls.
Okay, what's the email?
Okay, it's REAL, real.
REAL.
And then safe, SAFE.
Safe.
Yes. And then storm, STORM.
Okay.
And then protection, PROTECTION. .com or at gmail.com.
Now, wait a minute. What was the last part?
At Gmail.
At?
Gmail.
Okay. Gmail.com.
Yep. And that will get you there. And then.
Now, are you saying G like in
Yeah,
Gloria?
G is in good. Good is in good boy.
Gmail. Okay. Okay. .com.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Thanks, Gloria. So email is the best way if someone has questions or wants to talk to you about maybe purchasing one of these shelters, they should email you.
Yep.
I know that you do get lots and lots of phone calls, and so
crazy.
that you would get anything done if you just answered all your phone calls. So
And we've been philanthropy since the tornado. This is our first week doing retail sales. We've never sold anything retail before. Now, we've had people buy their own materials to some success, but that was a whole different bunch of headaches going through it. But this is retail. And we're taking baby steps. I would like people to come meet with us direct, and we'll start small, and then we'll develop into a more type of normal business model. But right now, our focus is still philanthropy, so they're going to have to be patient with us. But it's worth the trouble, folks.
And then didn't you say that you can put one of these up in like 2 hours or something? Very quickly?
Well, the forms are slow to put up, but the concrete can go in as little as 2 hours.
Okay.
The metal one, we can be in and out of the house within a couple hours also.
So it's very quickly to get it put in and get it set up so you're ready to go.
Yeah. We want to be able to, after a storm, get into a community and put in 50 a day with the help of our volunteers and make a huge impact for the families that need that peace of mind quickly.
It's a great deal.
I'm telling you. And so, not only will you help yourself by purchasing one of these from Russell and keeping your family safe, but didn't you say that part of the proceeds all goes is going to be to help people who can't afford them?
Correct. That has always been our drive, and that's what gives me the motivation to keep doing it, because there's a lot of work.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, we set it up to where we can only pull 20 cents off the dollar for keep it right. But we got a contractor now. We pay to pump concrete. It's no longer just volunteers. We've had to grow.
Sure.
But we pay the bills. But after the bills are paid, we throw it all back in because there's a huge need. These children need that peace of mind.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
We need to take a break. Okay.
We'll
be back.
Proactive is better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway, and you'll also receive free shipping. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With Proactive, your acne can heal, and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. Don't miss this limited time offer. Give us a call at 1-800-620-4646, because we're going to let 1,000,000 people try Proactive risk-free, get 2 free gifts, and also receive free shipping when you call right now. You heard it. This offer won't last long. So call Proactive now and you'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial of Proactive, 2 free extras, and free shipping. Call 1-800-620-4646. This is our best radio offer ever. Get your risk-free 60-day trial of Proactive plus free shipping. That's right, free shipping. Don't wait. Visit getproactive.com or call 1-800-620-4646. That's 1-800-620-4646.
Good health is the most important thing we have. Dr. Brian McDonald from the Chestnut Wellness Center is on KWTO AM 560 every Monday at 2 p.m. to answer your questions about alternative ways to stay healthy. Dr. McDonald is an acupuncturist, chiropractor, and expert in Chinese medicine with years of experience in holistic health practice. Listen to Dr. Brian McDonald from the Chestnut Wellness Center every Monday at 2 p.m. on KWTO AM 560, the talk of the Ozarks.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob.
Welcome back to the Home Repair and Solution Show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air. Mary, we'll go back to you.
I need to make a correction. I gave the wrong location for the Safe and Sound Saturday. It's at the Expo. I think I said the E-Plex.
Yeah.
They should name them with different letters. I'm sorry. That got me confused. E-Plex Expo. Anyway, it's at the Expo Center downtown. Isn't that on St. Louis Street?
St. Louis Street.
Yeah, downtown
by the
St. Louis
Hammond's
Street,
Tower.
by the Hammond's
Yep.
Tower. So that's where you need to go tomorrow, not the fairgrounds. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, we don't want
I got
people
someone
going to the wrong
confused.
place. Yeah.
I didn't mean to
lonely
do
out
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, great event out there. It's the first one. The first time they're having it, I'm anxious to see how it goes. I would anticipate they'll have a pretty good turnout.
Oh, I think they will.
So because that's something that everybody, it's on everyone's mind. You want to make sure that you're safe and sound.
There you go.
That's right.
I'm sure that's why they named it that.
That's pretty perceptive of you, Mary.
I don't know.
You're
I
on
think
it.
I'm telling you, this snow really got me all messed up today. I couldn't hardly get going. I ended up having to throw my breakfast in a bag to get to work on time. I don't know. I'm just behind today. I don't know what's going on here, but it'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
100 years from now, I won't remember.
No, I probably won't either. So
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yep, that's right. So, as I mentioned earlier, me being in the building business and stuff, I can see where this would be fantastic for builders, new home construction, to put these in. It's such a great incentive for the home buyer. And as I say, people are becoming more aware of having, a storm shelter because, a lot of people don't have, number one, they can't afford to buy a house with a basement or whatever. Some of the houses that we're building are, 1,500 square foot and, just single level houses. And the first question is, what do we do in case of a storm? Well, this is the most economical way to take care of that and give them peace of mind. And that's what it's all about. It's that peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
You
yeah.
may never use
Right.
it. Hope you never have to.
Right. Well, it's like, the box named after a little boy, Zachary. He was 12 years old. He was in the bathroom by himself. Mom was at work. Dad was asleep because he worked a late shift. And Zach died alone in that bathtub.
Wow.
And the terror he went through and all that. So that's part of our motivation, is that doesn't need to happen again. And, his parents, they deal with that. They would have had a storm shelter if they could have afforded one.
Sure.
But at $4,000 to $6,000, they're really for just people that have disposable income. And,
Right.
Those monthly payments, those are nice too, but it's still a drain on a household income. That price point is so important, and that's our focus. And I would love to see storm shelters cost as much as a dishwasher someday. And in fact, when you think about it, a dishwasher really does have probably more engineering and more material cost in it than some storm shelters.
Yeah.
And yet you can get them for under $1,200 day in, day out because they sell a lot of them. The profit margin is very low, but because they sell so many of them.
Sure.
That
It's
can
volume
happen.
based. You know what I would like to see because of the way that you put these together and the way that you build them, I would like to see this being part of new housing construction, period. That when someone's building a house, that this is just standard procedure where one of these is built like in a corner of a garage or whatever the case may be. And I'm like you, it makes more sense to have it inside the garage if you have that ability, because then you're not having to go out in the elements and try and get into the storm shelter during a storm.
I mean, by no means I'd like to see them pass a code where everybody had a storm shelter because it's a no-brainer. You get in your car, you should wear your seatbelt. Having a storm shelter should be just a breath like, yes, I want one. There's so much opportunity, but that price point has to be driven down, and it's going to happen when the numbers go up. When there's 21 million people that need shelter in Tornado Alley alone, so the cells are there. It's just we need to make it to where we can fit that market, that economic base.
Sure, it's got to be affordable.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like anything else. So, there's a lot of things that, there's some things that I think it'd be fun to have that I might want or something, but I don't because it's not affordable to me. Right. But it's not something that's going to save my life either, where this is something that would potentially save my life.
Correct.
So, we have lots of wants and lots of things that we'd like to have in our life, and everyone wants nice things and wants to have the ability to have nice cars and this, that, and the other. But the reality of it is when you're looking at, buying a house or purchasing a house or something, one of the things that I think should just be part of where you live is a safe place to go when you have a storm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
or at least have a plan of where you can go too.
Right.
So many people were caught in Joplin without that plan, or they didn't know there was a tornado coming because we have so many warnings.
Yeah.
You get used to it. You know,
Yeah.
it's numb.
Right.
That's true. That's true. You get to where, they do warnings, every week? Or do they do the siren like every Wednesday or something?
Used to do it every Wednesday here in town. I don't know.
And
if
we
they still
would,
do it anymore
and
or
I'd
not.
hear it, and I just, like you said, I would just ignore it because it's
right.
just something that you heard pretty often, and so you just didn't.
Yeah, and in Joplin, that coin's flipped. Now it's a hypersensitivity.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It would be.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's funny how we humans quantify things.
Well, yeah. Sure. Absolutely. Well, I think that now if someone comes to you tomorrow and says that they would like to purchase one of your shelters, what kind of time frame are they looking at to actually get that installed in their home?
Well, we can go pretty quick. Luckily, this April has been the fewest amount of tornadoes in over 100 years, I think. These cold temperatures, we haven't got
it's
that.
kept it down, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had that heat, that equilibrium the planet's trying to meet between warm and cold.
Mm-hmm.
And this May that might change, I don't know. But everybody wants it right now, and we'll go as fast as we can. It could be 3 weeks, could be 4 weeks if they do something soon. And it depends. If they do a metal one, they could get it in within just a few days. So if they do one of the concrete ones, then it's a little slower because right now we're working in Kansas building restrooms that double as storm shelters, but we're just about done with that project.
Yeah. Okay. So some great information.
Mm-hmm.
I have something that I want to throw out there. I was going to do this at the beginning of the show, but like I said, I'm like running way behind today. So I'll do it at the end of the show. But one of the things I wanted to put out to our listeners is Spring Mountain Air is in need of a new maintenance service technician. Not a new one, another one. We need to add on another one. So if you are a service technician in the heat and air business, or if you know someone that's looking for a job, please send them to Spring Mountain Air. Give us a call at 831-4036. We'll bring you in, have you fill out an application and set you up with an interview.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah. So we're needing a new service tech, and I was going to do that before we started, but I totally spaced it. So there we are.
Am I qualified?
No.
No. That was quick. Golly.
Yeah.
I love you, man, but no.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. So what do you got going on this weekend, Mr.
Well,
Mark?
this weekend is just going to kind of be just a laid-back weekend, not a whole lot going on. Next weekend, or next Friday week from today, we'll have our monthly jam with the Greater Ozarks Bluegrass Society. Here in a few weeks, I'm going to be talking about something. We got something happening that is really, really big, and that we're working on with the Bluegrass Society.
Good.
And I think people's really going to like it. So hopefully in a couple weeks I can talk about that. So
that'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say last night, of course, my niece Brooke Jones, her mother just passed away.
Yes.
A month or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
But she graduates Central High School this year, and we went last night to their choir assembly that they had over there. And I just want to say a shout out to all the kids over at Central High School. We've been to several functions over there, and some of the nicest, most well-behaved young men and women over there that I'm so impressed every time I go there. So I just wanted to say hello to all the teachers and the students, and especially the seniors at Central High School.
Well, I'll ditto that because I had 2 nieces that graduated there, and my oldest granddaughter is attending there. She's a freshman this year, and it's a pretty neat school.
It is.
I'm
It
real
really
pleased
is.
with what she's learning and how things are going. So, yeah, well, good. I didn't know they had a music thing last night. Or...
Yep, sure did. It was for the choir, and so it was really neat. It's about 2.5 hours long, but it was really neat. Everybody did great, and it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Well, good deal. Well, congratulations to Brooke.
Well, thank you.
You betcha.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Russell, for being with us again on the show today. I love listening to you talk, and I like all these ideas you come up with and all these cool things you do for people. And
Thank you.
I just really want to encourage our listeners, please, 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 if you go to Safe and Sound tomorrow, please go by and see Russell. He's a great person to talk to, has lots of knowledge, and he's got a really cool product. So make sure you get out there to see it.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, be a good time. So it's been great having you on.
Well, thank you, Mark. Thanks, Mary. As always, I look forward to seeing you at one of the other meetings in town.
Absolutely. You bet.
Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWT.